Hello there, Brett Sheldon here from Your Business World, and welcome to another networking event review. Now today I'm reviewing a completely new event for me, which I went to on the 5th of July, and it was a charity speed networking event hosted by Find a Biz. So I'm going to cut to me and I'll tell you a little bit more about the event. Okay, so the charity speed networking event by Find a Biz. Completely new, had no idea what I was going to, but let's give you a few details. So the speed networking events are generally held once a month by Find a Biz, and they move the location around. This one happened to be held at the Tile Press Cafe in Jackfield, which is near Ironbridge in Shropshire, and this one was held on the 5th of July and was hosted by Flo Chadaway, who runs Find a Biz for Telford, and Amanda Bourne, who owns Find a Biz nationally. I never heard of it really until Joe Plymouth, one of our members, mentioned, Brett, there's an event before her wellness walk, which I'm actually reviewing directly after this one. So I know very, very little about what I expected when I was going there. But in regards to the history of the event, the speed networking I know very little about at all. But Find a Biz has been going for quite some while. I know Amanda from back in my FSB days, where I helped her when she was basically working for her former employer and gave her some help way back when. And Find a Biz is an organisation which runs multiple groups, run by different hosts. So Flo is one of the hosts, run on a franchise basis, and each group has a 1C policy. Okay, so I'm going to go now into the format of the event itself to give you a little bit more information. Okay, so the format itself. So when I got there, basically I was greeted by Flo. Basically I got there a few minutes before the event was due to start, which was great. And it was open networking with help yourself to food, which was, in this case, some beautiful pastries. Got to be honest, I was on a diet, so I had the granola, which was lovely. So you just had a bit of open networking. Then we sat down for a presentation from the charity. Like I say, from what I know, that these aren't normally charity events, but we had a presentation from Search and Rescue. That isn't International Rescue. That's not the Thunderbirds. This is the real Search and Rescue who go and find lost people or bodies in rivers and that kind of thing, which is really good. Really good presentation. And then we moved into the main part of the speed networking, which was basically hosted on tables, and they used some maths and moved people around the tables, so you spoke to a maximum number of people possible, and you had 60-second elevator pitches with a little bit of chit chat after, probably about 5 minutes chit chat, and that's what it was, and a little bit of open networking at the end. But that's the format. So let's go to who was there and the event numbers. Okay, so this event, like I say, I had no idea what to expect. There was approximately 20 people there, which was brilliant. That's great for this kind of event. And the kind of businesses there was a little bit of a mix. Most people there were Find a Biz members. There were a couple of visitors, including me. And in terms of the business types, it was just a general mix. Some business consultants. I think there's a couple of people from a vehicle leasing firm, most people were very small businesses, some, like I say, a bit bigger, and they send their staff. So it was a good mix of people. Okay, so what did I think of this event? Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm not normally the biggest fan of speed networking. Not because I don't get value from it, but because, look like my thing flickered there. So not because I don't get value from it, it's because it's absolutely frantic. But I really enjoyed this event. Flo and Amanda, you did a phenomenally good job of actually running it. Now, when I got there, I felt a little bit out of place, a little bit of an outsider, but that's because the other people there were members, and that's natural in this kind of thing. We can't take that away from Flo or from Amanda at all, but like I say, I felt like a little bit of an outsider, but basically the way around that is quite simple. Go and get a drink, go and have some breakfast, and introduce yourself and start chatting. I spoke to lots of people, and the actual speed networking itself was very, very, very good. Normally in speed networking, you sit up and down in rows and you shuffle down the bus with somebody with a whistle and shouting at you. This worked much, much better than I expected. In fact, it's actually almost like a meet and greet event that we hold online, but in person. Really liked the format. Really worked well. And the granola I had, oh my God, that was absolutely phenomenal. So in terms of value for money, regardless of being a charity event, it was actually really, really good. Okay, so some tips for you. Now, I've got these written down for you, so I've got a number of tips, because speed networking is it's an art. Okay, so first tip is it's going to be busy. So what you're going to have to do is to be prepared to do lots and lots of talking very, very quickly. So take a drink with you. So as you go around the tables, if I was you, before you start, get a drink of water, orange juice or tea or coffee, whatever your thing is, and take a drink with you because you will be doing lots of talking. Okay, so the next tip is get prepared before you start doing the speed networking part itself. So get your business cards ready, make sure you've got a notepad and a pen. This is going to be fast paced. You will need to make notes. Because of the speed of it, you're going to forget who you're going to be talking to. Right, next tip. This is a little bit of a, how would we classify it? A bit of a skill, networking skill. So when you sit down the tables, distribute your business cards straight away. So there's normally a 30 seconds or so lead in. Because of the nature of this event, people may forget. So if you lead by saying, oh, I better give you my details now, it'd be a handy tip because people will reciprocate it and pass their details. So you get the information you want very, very, very quickly. A little bit of craft for you there. Okay, next tip is one I just touched on, which is to reverse your elevator pitch. So don't worry about talking about you too much, but what you want to do is to talk about the problem you solve, and you want to talk about the people you're dealing with. You want to be memorable. So remember, people are there to sell their wares, either to you or through you. So you want to find out who they are dealing with. And if you can talk about the kind of people that you're dealing with, so in my case, I deal with all I do all day, every day is talk to small business owners. When I drop that into an elevator pitch, where in this kind of format, any kind of format, anybody who sells to small business owners, in other words, they have access to the market that I'm looking to sell to, basically their ears will pick up and they will initiate the conversation. So reverse your elevator pitch. And finally, the last tip is to follow up very quickly at this event. Normally I'm a fan of leaving a good 24 hours or so before I do any kind of following up. What you want to do here is to almost not do that. You want to follow up straight away and a very soft touch. So it could be anybody you want to speak to, follow up quickly, perhaps a quick LinkedIn connection, something like that, saying, oh hi, met you earlier on today, because you're speaking to so many people in such a small amount of time, people will forget. You want to get those ideas, you want to get that connection building quite quickly. Okay, so links for their next event. Okay, so I've got it written down here because I'm terrible at remembering things today. I've actually tried recording this 4 times. So their next event, or their next speed networking event, is in Southern Coalfield on the 7th of August. I will put links in the description to the Find a Biz site so you can find out more details. If you're watching this after the 7th, you'll be able to find details of future events. Also on there, it'll also have some links to obviously their normal events they do as well. And I'll also put in the description links to Flo's and Amanda's LinkedIn profiles. So it'll always be good to reach out to them to ask about those kind of events as well. So the question is, would I go to this event again? And the answer is yes. Now, even though I'm not a fan of speed networking events per se, this was really, really good. It was run very well with Flo and Amanda at the helm there. The location was really, really, really good. A little bit far out for me, but it was still really, really good. I would make that effort to go there. And I spoke to a good number of interesting people. So I would score this event very simply a solid 4.5 out of 5. Really enjoyed it. However, because this has moved to different franchises, I don't know if the flavour of this will be the same of each one. I imagine the format will be the same, but will the personnel change? Will the numbers differ? Will the location be as accommodating? For that, I don't know. But it's definitely worth looking at. I'd like to think with Amanda and obviously Flo, and I imagine Flo would probably go to help other people out as well. Really, really, really well run event. Definitely worthwhile checking out. Keep up the good work, ladies. Okay, so just to finish this off, thank you very much for watching. Obviously, hopefully you do obviously go along to one of the Find a Biz speed networking events. And if you like this style of content, if you like these reviews, if you can do us a favour, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you're then notified about when the next review comes out. Our aim is to do a couple of these per week, depending obviously what activity I'm doing. And obviously I'd love to get your comments of whether you've been to these events yourself, obviously in the chat. Now, just to finish this event off, crikey, you tell I run too many things, can't you? So just to finish this video off, there is also a link up above. I don't know which side it's going to be, but basically there's a link to the net walking event which I attended directly after this one, hosted by Joe Plymmer. So hopefully you like that review as well. So thank you for watching and have fun with your networking.